Good evening, friends, and a warm welcome to the International Fab Talks. Fab Talks is all about connecting with the right kind of people who have achieved wonderful achievements in their path, in their career, in their life. They have inspired not only their own family members, their community, but the world at large. When you meet such wonderful unsung heroes, you would really like to connect with them in the right kind of way to get the right kind of information as to how did they achieve all of what they've achieved till date. We never know what hardships they might have faced to reach where they are today. The path is not easy for any one of us. And of course, our unsung heroes are here to celebrate their journey, and we get to learn a lot from them, especially the youngsters. The Fab Talks is all about inspiring the youngsters or those people who think that, life is easier for others and not for us. You get a beautiful message from our celebrities and guests that they've had tough times, but they have, faced all the storms and they have emerged successful. Join us, friends, to welcome our celebrity and guest for today. She is Dr. Chandrika Subramaniyan, joining us all the way from Sydney, Australia. On special request, she is here with us. Let's welcome her and get to know more about her journey and celebrate her life today on the International Fab Talks. Hello, ma'am, and welcome to the session.
Thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am, for being so down to earth, so humble, so kind. Thank you so much. Thank you. With your permission, I go ahead and share your profile and then we begin the session.
Please.
Yes. Dear friends, you must be wondering as to who Dr. Chandrika Subramaniyan is and what does she do. She's a wonderful lawyer, connected with academics as well. She's a great mentor, a great writer, much more to her personality. Let's get to know more about her in detail, dear friends. As I mentioned, she's a lawyer, a mediator, a writer, academician, etc. And there's much more to this beautiful personality. I'd like to take you further ahead into ma'am's profile. She has wonderful interests connected with multiculturalism, women empowerment, cultural diversity, peace and harmony, governance and ethics, migrants education and training. She has several memberships, for example, Fellow Governance Institute of Australia, Fellow Indian Arbitration Council, Fellow Asian Center for Arbitration Malaysia, Fellow University of Malaya. I would like to add more to that. Currently, ma'am is the Director, Western Sydney Local Health District. The term is almost coming to an end. That's what ma'am says. She's also the Fellow Visiting Professor at the University of Malaya and Krishnasamy College, Cuddalore, International Arbitrator and Mediator. She has achieved several beautiful, achievements on her path. She has achieved a lot. Now, how she's going to share with us. That's really wonderful. And if you check about her educational pursuits, there's a long, long list. Now, if I continue to read that list, it'll take a long time. That's really nice to have people here. She started off with bachelor's of arts, if you say, she's completed a BA in English literature, went on to do her master's in arts in mass communication, Masters of Philosophy in Mass Communication. Then she also went on to pursue a PhD with regard to women and media in 1998, Diploma in Legal Practice, College of Law, Sydney, and then Bachelor of Law, Western Sydney University, Diploma in Business Management, QLD, Advanced Diploma in Leadership, that is in Sydney, and Mediation, Accreditation, Certification, that is from University of Queensland, Diploma of Vocational Education and Training, Master of Law, Queensland University, graduate in Company Dictatorship. I'm sorry, it's not dictatorship, I put that right. Graduate in Company Directorship, Australian Institute of Company Director, and Blockchain Advisor Certification, Certification in International Humanitarian Law, ICRS, Switzerland. That's really nice to know about that. And also completed PhD in Tamil Media and Ethics, Tanjavur Tamil University, graduate certificate in Governance, Governance Institute. This is just a little I've shared, dear friends. There's much more to ma'am's profile. A solicitor and barrister, Supreme Court of NSW and High Court of Australia. Director, Western Sydney Local Health District, Chair of Sydwest Multicultural Services, Fellow Asian Center of Arbitration, Malaysia and Indian Arbitration Council and Governance Institute, nationally accredited mediator and arbitrator, international, and there's much more connected with family dispute resolution provider in Australia, an advisory member on many boards in Australia, Asia Pacific, and India as well, certified blockchain advisor, director, Western Sydney local health districts. There's much more. If I mispronounced anything, kindly forgive me, please. Because when I meet people like this, I'm just a dot in front of them. But I'm really happy that such great individuals have no ego. That's what I want all of you to learn from the Fab Talk sessions that we have with all wonderful celebrities. They have no ego. And that is why they have reached where they are today. We have to learn that from them. Now, our celebrity is also a wonderful writer. She's an author. She has authored 56 books in Tamil and English on women empowerment, culture, law, and ethics, management, Tamil, and connected with computers as well, and more than 100 research papers. Tamil Nadu Government Award has been bestowed on her, and the book titled Women and Media 1998, that's really nice. SRM University's Abdul Kalam Award, a book titled Cyber Laws and Cyber Crimes in 2019. Very, very important as of today, connected to cyber laws and cyber crimes. We'll discuss about the trends for all of you, because you are falling into the trap of cyber crimes. It could be of any age. So we'll ask ma'am for some tips to stay safe. Outstanding non-fiction, a book titled Lord of Dance by South Asian Literary Award, Australia 2019. That's really nice to find all of this in one person. A lawyer, an author, a mediator, a humanitarian, an academician, all wonderful. That's really nice. To me, when I meet such people, they're all magical to me. That's really nice. Let's get to unravel the magic as to how Dr. Chandrika Subramaniyan has been able to achieve all of this. Was it a smooth journey, or she had to face the tides? Hello, ma'am, and welcome to the session, dear.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you for interviewing me.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for taking out the time to be here with us today. Ma'am, I've shared a little from my end. I'd like you to describe yourself, to define yourself for our audience. It could be your friends, your relatives. It could be unknown people who are going to connect with us through this video. How would you love to define yourself, dear?
I am a people-friendly person, and we have a verse in Tamil called Yadum Ore Yavarum Keli. That means all kingdoms are mine, and I belong to all the men and women of the world. So I always think that I belong to everyone, and everybody is my relative, kith and kin. So I have friends from India, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, and all over the world. And the age groups, you'll be finding it funny. I have children who are my friends, teenagers who are my friends, mid-age girls and boys are my friends, and also older people of my age, because I share some commonness with them. That is, I listen to them, and I'm not a troublemaker for them, so that they love to share things with me. So believe that you be friendly with everyone, you'll be very happy in your life.
That's really so nice to know that, ma'am. That's so nice. Thank you so much. As I earlier mentioned, you're a person with no ego at all. And that is why several people connect with you on a very, beautiful bonding level. It could be like understanding you at a deeper level, or you trying to understand them at a deeper level. And that's how the bond and networking arises. Now, ma'am, I'd like to just add this one more point about you, ma'am. My dear friends, Dr. Chandrika Subramaniyan is the founder of Tamil VALARCHI MANRAM Sydney. Now, what is this? We'll get to know. Ma'am, if you could tell us something more about this Tamil VALARCHI MANRAM, and then we go ahead with the remaining section.
Yes, Tamil VALARCHI MANRAM we found in 2015, because we really wanted to nurture the language, Tamil language, among the youngsters who have migrated, who are forgetting their mother tongue, or even if they are in Tamil school and stuff, they are not nurturing their literature and language. So we thought there should be some form of a non-formal activity for them to participate, understand the depth of our language. That's more than 3,000 years, and we have literature dating back. So we started this, and we started doing a lot of activities for school-going children and college-going teenagers. that they could participate, they could learn about our literature, and they could reciprocate and share their experience in the language and literature with the other people in this country. And thanks to COVID, because when COVID came, we started doing things online, and we were very successful in doing weekly program for youngsters. We were encouraging them, inspiring them to do read the literature. We have 41 classical language in Tamil literature. We made them to read. We encourage them to do it in English. At least they understand what are the 41 literature and what's the basis and stuff. So initially we started that. Then we encourage children to do Tirukural, which is 1,330 couplets in a book written by, dates back to 500 C. So we try to encourage children to learn all that, because it talks about ethics, virtue, and other good things in the world. And it also speaks about a lot of stuff which is accepted by the world in today's world, like the UNESCO related principles. It's all embedded there. Governance is there, and law and justice is there. So we promoted it so that the children learn and they get the good things out of it. We also got a statue from India to be installed in a public park in Australia, which is very hard because Australians have no value for that. And I walked at least 30 times to the council to make the mayor to understand the importance of Thiruvalluvar in this country. And last week we installed a statue of Thiruvalluvar. So the children will be knowing who is that and what's our culture and what is our language and stuff. So initially we started this to encourage youngsters to get involved in the literary part of Tamil language, because there are a lot of activities happening with dance, drama, movies and stuff, but very focused on literary work. We are the only people who are doing it, and multiple literary focused. So we are successful 9 years now. We have achieved something in this country.
Wow, that's really great, ma'am, to know, to preserve the Tamil language, to enhance the skills in our children, to make them understand and value the language. As you mentioned, Tirukural, that's really nice. And Thiruvalluvar statues have already been installed just last week. That's really nice. Great achievement, ma'am. And the love for the Tamil language is really immense. Yes, dear.
Yes.
Yes, dear. Ma'am, now people would really be excited to know your journey as a lawyer. Where did this dream begin, as a young girl, or did it emerge at a later stage?
No. After I migrated here, I started as a journalist. That was my passion. Teaching and journalism was my passion, and I was an academic in Madras University and various other universities in Sri Lanka and Madurai and all. And I was a reporter. I started as a reporter. Then I was also with television in Doordarshan, Madras, and radio and stuff. As I migrated, I was overqualified, and I had to learn the skills I need to move around and find jobs and things. Because I had the training experience, I did some kind of a work in employment related stuff. Then I also have an IT background. I'm a Microsoft certified developer and trainer. And I tried to do several things just to put my leg and stand on my own and establish something. On the wake of that, I started interacting with the multicultural organization supporting the migrants and refugees. And I started doing some employment help for them, English, computer teaching and stuff. On that line, when I just moved on, then I found there's a migration law course, which was only a short course. So I specialized in that, and I started helping people about bringing their kith and kin from overseas. And I also started doing some work for an IT company to resource people from India and doing the work visas and stuff. When I started moving with the multicultural people, I could see the discrimination, like, if they're a migrant, if they can't speak the language and stuff. People had a lot of issues. One day I went to a shopping complex. I was sitting outside. One lady, she took a cloth from the rack and she wanted to show it to her husband. She came out and the shop owner thought she's stealing, and she called the police. And there was it's a great sadness the husband and wife are undergoing, and they asked my help. I could not do anything. And she was telling, I just brought the cloth to show it to my husband who was sitting the next block there. And nobody believed her. And it happened to me also. Once I went to a purse handbag shop, I saw something and came out, and the machine started beeping, and they fully searched me, and it was so much humiliating me. And they found nothing in me except there was one dot which is in a purse or something that got on stuck on my jacket. So that made the sound. It's no item I took or anything. So there's nobody to listen to you and stuff. And I argued, and because they didn't find anything, they let me go. But the other lady, she got into trouble and they didn't have any help. Also, a lot of domestic violence was happening, and I started doing some training. I learned something. I started working as a domestic violence assistant. So everything I was entering in Australia, it was ending up with some legal stuff. Once I finished my migration law, I thought, okay, I'll go and do the entire law stuff. 26 subjects I did. It is part-time. I'm supposed to finish it in 7 years, but part-time I finished in 4 years with all summer schools and winter school subjects and stuff. No, none of my subjects I studied in India was recognized. Then once I finished that, I started practicing as a lawyer. I did my master's in law in Queensland University, and also that was to deal with dispute resolution and international law, which I really liked. And that's how I got into law, and I was able to do a free service. Still, we have that service. Once a week, I do free service for the people who cannot afford to pay the legal fee. We guide them and we try to help them to get into the court and get some assistance. So that's how I ended up, because people who were deprived of getting some legal assistance, who cannot speak English, other communities, I move with all the other communities because I feel that everybody is my kith and kin. And that's why I'm in the Sydwest Multicultural Service as a director. 14 years I'm with them. Now, in a year or two, I will be ending my term. I can step down and go back again, or I may continue. Whatever it is, I have a bonding with the multicultural people. I deal with a lot of Sudanese community, African communities, Arabic communities, Afghani community. And most of the Indians come as migrants with the IT background and medical background and accounting background. But other countries, they come as refugee. So refugees definitely need a service. And I have my office open 1 day a week for them to consult them and any help they need. So that's how I ended up with the legal profession. It was not that easy. There was a lot of humiliation initially. There was a lot of things I had to go through. Slowly, I started becoming very popular because of the work I was doing. I got recognized by the Law Society of New South Wales as a highly commendable award was given to me. Then Justice Medal and all the other things started coming up, and I was a Citizen of the Year somewhere. And people recognized me, and I had a say with the council and other places where I could contribute something to the community. And I got the Premier's Harmony Medal for the Harmony. So every community started recognizing me and started getting assistance from me. So it was a rough road, but I was able to just go through that, navigate through all the odds.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing that. I was interestingly listening to it. You've navigated it very well in spite of all the humiliation and ups and downs that you faced. You faced it very boldly and bravely. And today you're inspiring others, you're helping others and guiding others. That's really wonderful. Hats off to you for this beautiful journey. Yeah, I'd love many of us to also be in the same place as you are, to do our very best, to face the odds, no matter how difficult it is, you could face it with the right spirit. That's wonderful, ma'am. Now, ma'am, you are also an author. 56 books you've already authored. Now, how did this journey begin? When did it begin?
I always liked writing. That was my first profession. And to publish my first book, I think I would have gone to at least 20 publishers. I was very young. There was 19 or something, and nobody wanted to publish a young writer's work. And that was about temples of South India, which I wrote. And they were hesitant, and somebody wanted for some funding for a temple in Sri Lanka. They said, okay, we'll publish this book and then we'll release it and we'll get some money. And they were able to sell for 10,000 rupees. That was a big money 30, 40 years back. So that gave some courage. And I started doing my second book, which was based on my MPhil thesis, Women and Media. That year, that got the Outstanding Book Award from the government of Tamil Nadu. That was my first award in 88. And then in between my or 10 or 15 years, I didn't do any writing at all because I was trying to put my foot and getting the feel of Australia and settling down and stuff. Then suddenly in 2015, I was doing some research on Chidambaram temple. One of the Guruji whom I met in Malaysia, he was asking about this and said, can you finish the book in May? It was in March I met him. He said, finish the book in May, because the May they have the consecration of Chidambaram temple, and if you come there, we can release it. And we published that, and we took it there and we released it. And simultaneously, I started writing the English version of that, Lord of Dance. So that got published, and that got released in 5 or 6 countries. And I was also writing about in Tamil about the cyber laws and cyber crimes. It's a 300 pages book on the cyber laws of Australia. I thought there must be something for the Tamils to read. And that got the award from SRM University for that year's outstanding book. And then I also wrote Media Laws in Tamil. That was written only 2 years back. Various books I've written. Mediation I've written in English for a professional handbook for mediators. And I also did smart contracts and blockchain thing. And also I have other things I've done in English and Tamil. So I love writing. And then recently my book was released in Delhi Tamil Changam by the Attorney General of India and chief editor of Dinamani from Indian Express. That's about Kambaramayana, one of the big epic in Tamil about Ramayana, 10,600 songs. I selected 100 songs from 6 chapters, 6 cantos, and I did that translation. That was released recently, and I'm trying to do all the 10,600. Hopefully I can do it.
Yes, dear. That's really nice, ma'am. Thank you so much. You're a person with such a lot of varied interests, and you take deep connection. When you connect with it, you go very deeply into it and give your all. Now, that's really nice. And you've achieved a double PhD as well, if I'm not mistaken. Your educational background is so rich. You've done so many courses, so many diploma courses, and all of that. How did you manage to do all of it? I mean, a commoner can't do it. As I can tell you that they'll be satisfied with either a bachelor's or a master's. You've crossed all of that and gone very far.
Yeah, I love learning. That's one of my plus point, I'll say. Recently, I did about data analytics, some certificate course. Because anything comes new, then I also did something, and I've written a book on artificial intelligence. So anything, I'm just up to date with the technology, which I think that everybody should. Otherwise, you will be always asking somebody to help you with your computer or your phone or something. I know most of the technology existing now for research and things. So I'm a good learner. So I love learning. And it's also stress busting for me. My work is very stressful as a lawyer. So when I start writing about literature and things, I get relaxed. So that's one thing. And also the second thing I love is teaching people. I've been a teacher. Ever since I finished my first degree, I started teaching something. Then master's, I started teaching something. Then when I finished my PhD, also I was a lecturer. And teaching and writing and reading are my forte.
That's wonderful, dear. That's really nice, ma'am. Now, Dr. Chandrika, I'd like to ask you this. What was the best moment in your life when you connected with students? What made you feel that, yes, connecting with students give me really that high, a good feel?
I was a student from Madras University. That's wherever I go to a university. Any place I visit, I'll tell them I want to go to the university, and I'll have some connection. I'll go and visit the professor or at least the library. Wherever I go, the first place I love to go is a university. And because I'm from Madras University, the Madras University, I don't know whether you have seen, it's all rich building, all the red buildings and stuff. When I doing my master's, when I used to work with my professors and lecturers, I used to get my pride out of that. That when you walk as an academic, people respect you. When I started teaching there, I always had 4 or 5 students surrounding me, asking for doubts, and they love me like anything. And they won't even let me go get into a bus. They come and get into the bus, and they come up to my residence, leave me, and then they take a bus and go. So that gave me a lot of pride. That gave me a lot of connection with the youngsters, and I was able to give some good things for them, but what I learned from life. And people have come up in life and they still say, because of you, we are not doing this, which really, really makes me happy. And I encourage everybody to study any age, any circumstances, mother or even 50, 60 years. Say, I said, don't depend on your children. Just go online and learn how to fix your computer and stuff. And I used to do the whole network in my house 20 years back. I don't wait for anybody to come and help me. Even today, I try to repair or do anything. I try to do maximum by myself. If I can't, only I go. So learning is a process. And you learn every day from books and more from internet and much from people. People teach you lessons. People teach you lifestyles. People teach you a lot of things what you don't know. There, whenever you make a mistake, you learn it from the people. So I take it as a lesson. Whatever people betray or try to be nasty to me, I think, okay, this is what I've done and I'm getting it. Okay, I will be careful next time. So learning is a process, and I love that process. The only thing I like to do until my death is learning something. Even if I can't do work or something, I want to learn something, because it's lucky that I'm in Australia. You have, the age is not a bar here for you to study anything. Any age you can go and study. I started after my 40s doing my law. So this is a plus point, and I still love to study. And there are lots and lots of resources in YouTube, in LinkedIn or Udemy or any place you go, you will get a lot of learning thing. Whatever you are interested, you can learn.
That's really nice, ma'am. Thank you for sharing all of that. Thank you. I guess, I get to see that you're a person filled with lots of knowledge, and you say that this knowledge is acquired through books, through the internet, and from people.
Yes.
And we get to learn more when people betray us, when people are nasty to us, or when people take advantage of us. Then we become more cautious and careful how to deal with them in future, or people like them. That's really very nice. Thank you for sharing.
Just ignore and move on with our life. It's no point just regretting that I've done this. You're destined to do that. You're destined to help some people where you don't get any. I don't expect them to do return in return, but that love and affection also sometimes goes nasty, and that's okay. You are destined to take that as all. Take it easy. The life is with both kinds of stuff. So, many people come in your life are not the same. So take it easy and just move on with your life. That's the life's greatest lesson you learn.
Yes, dear. Now, ma'am, would you like to take us down memory lane? We'd love to know about your childhood. What kind of a girl were you below the age of 13? Were you the naughty one or the troublesome one?
I was scared of everything. I was scared of my own shadow. And we lived in a very big house. And if you want to go to the toilet those days, there will be only one toilet at the end of the house. And I won't go there. I was so scared. And if somebody tried to say something to me, I get scared. Everything changed by people started being nasty, and you met people in my life. My father died the day before my third exam. I did 2 exams, and I was supposed to do the third and then go home. My father passed away, and I didn't have anybody to help. Somebody helped me to buy the ticket and stuff. And when I came back, I didn't have any money in my hand. My mom was hardly she could. My father took a draft for 500 rupees, which was supposed to be my college fees. So I came only with that draft. And my principal from the college, she didn't want me to go anywhere. She gave some space with the warden. The warden accommodated me in her room. And I only had a mat to sleep. I didn't have a bed until I was 22. So I was on the mat, and I used to study with secondhand books and stuff. The college fee and all, the principal organized scholarships for me. So that was the only luxury I had. And after that, I started working part-time after my BA. I was allowed to do some part-time work. Then I was doing reporting, was the only thing I could do without disturbing my studies. Then that became my profession also. So there was time I didn't have money to pay for my hostel. So they put me out of the hostel. A friend of mine who was with me, she was able to take me. And so I grew up with the temple people of Mylapore, and their daughter was my college mate. So I used to stay in their house for many days until I pay the college, the hostel fees or something. So they're all still my friends. Their children are my friends. They all gave me 1 square meal a day, and so many people helped me who are not my kith and kin. That's why I always respect the other people. They all communities. I won't say that you have the caste system in India. I have moved with every caste. There are people from every caste have helped me. Muslims help me. Christians help me. So I believe you are destined to be with people, and you have to nurture that as a culture to reciprocate that to the other people also.
Yes, dear. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing that. Ma'am, would you love to share a wonderful memory with your dad when you were a young kid? Do you remember any
Yes.
beautiful memories with daddy?
My dad is my inspiration. He only gave me one encouragement. He said, I will educate you. I'm not bothered about you. You choose your life and you do what you want to do in your life. Education is important. That was his message. So when I couldn't even see his face because before I could come there, cremated him. That was in my mind and my body and my brain and everywhere. I must study, I must study, I must study. So I was the last child of the in the family, and I was more dear to him. Like anything I need, I used to get from him. I used to hang on his shoulder when I was 18. That's the last time I went to see him before he died. I used to hang. I was a big girl wearing saris. I used to hang on his shoulder. So he always laughs when I do something. And he was my inspiration. And today, if I'm here, that's what he got. Fortunately, I got a husband from Andhra Pradesh who was like my father. He also encouraged me to study. He is the one who encouraged me to come to Australia. When he wanted to come, I was the editor of a leading daily in Sri Lanka. And I said, no, I'm in a very good position. Why would I leave? He said, don't worry about it. You come to Australia, one day you'll become a director of an organization. Recently, I became director 15 years back, but recently, Western Sydney Area Health is running the 8 public hospitals in Australia. They invited me to become their director. There were 6 interviews, and after the 6th interview, I was selected by the minister. They don't know me. I don't know any of them. My education and my contribution to the community was able to get this. I really thought of my father and my husband, because my husband told this very word: you come to Australia, you will get more things in that country. You can study, you can grow. One day you will become a director in a big firm. So it happened. So that was the thing. I always had a very good relationship with my father. My father trusted me that I would do something in my life, and he invested in my education.
Yes, dear. That's really nice, ma'am. Thank you so much for having such wonderful memories with regard to your father. You've shared all of that with us. That's really very nice. There are certain fathers who are unsupportive, and that's where we need something called as women empowerment, because women are not empowered by their own parents. It could be their fathers putting them down, their brothers, their husbands, or their some male members pressurizing them.
Yes, put them. Yeah,
putting
they
them
listen to
down.
the community a lot rather than their daughters.
Yes, dear. Now, ma'am, how would you like to share with us this important topic that we are going to discuss? Women empowerment. You are into it, and you have been doing a lot for women empowerment. Could you share something about it, dear?
Yes. See, that's the thing I have been doing last 30 years in this country. We have learned a lot from people migrating, because they also come with their cultural baggage. They come with here, and the husband try to treat the wife as slaves. The husband and wife work, but it goes into husband's account. They don't share the money. Lot of dowry abuse, that lot of domestic violence and stuff. So we try to do as much as possible with the communities. We have groups from Telugu community, Malayalam community, all the other Hindi community, and all those things, North Indians. We try to do as groups. There are several groups are working on that. And we have a lot of Tamil people coming to us with not your age or not young people. People of my age, they come and say, I put up with in 30 years because I just wanted my daughter to get married. So we try to empower them. You can do that. You don't need, in this country, the government will give some money for you to start the life and give some rent assistance. And then you on whatever the skills you have, try to get these facilities are here. And if you can't do anything, cooking is good. People are looking for food. You can be a food supplier from home. And we encourage them to be financially benefited. Yesterday also I had a talk about find wealth management and stuff, the legal needs of wealth management and things. So I try to do free legal advice to many places on domestic violence, laws related to domestic violence, what men should avoid to get into place and trouble. I also try to talk to about children and women, about how the relationships can be, how you treat your children, because you come from India and you try to treat them as they are in India. These children get the exposure from the school where everything is fair and square. So there are a lot of children, parent-children rift also going, especially in teenagers. So how to manage that and all this. We try to empower every woman to do the best in their life without losing their self. The self is very important for anyone. You can be a wife, you can be a mother, you can be a sister, you can be anything, friend. But the self is something you sleep with you, you die with you, you're born with you. So that's what we try to do. I've written 2 books, one about 100 poems for women, and one about 100 essays. Every night I used to write a self-empowering or empowering, women empowering essay, and that gets in my Facebook. And I got that as a book finally, and everybody liked it when I wrote it. They used to call me and say, just like that, you have written about me. It's about my situation. You are helping me to overcome that. You are telling the truth, that what I should do in my life and things. So I'm very happy that that book made a change in many women in Australia and overseas who are known to me. So we published as a book.
That's really nice to know, ma'am. That's really very empowering. Just to listen to it, it makes you feel good. You know, that there are people out there who are ready to help you. You just have to meet the right kind of person in your life who's going to transform your life. Like, as you said,
I always lend my 2 ears to anyone. If anybody wants to talk, I always said, feel free to come and talk to me. I lend my ears to people who are in trouble. They only need that and some nice words.
That's really nice, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. That's really wonderful. Now, ma'am, you've been helping several people out there and you've been giving your services. You faced a lot of hardships, difficulties. No matter what, you've emerged victorious. You're going strong. Now, I'd like to ask you this. In between, we face a lot of stress. Or we'll change it into like the challenges. Like when you are faced with a new challenge, maybe every day we all face a new challenge. When you face a new challenge in your workspace, or either, with different kind of people who come in contact with you, how do you manage to balance your stress levels? What is the easiest
See,
way? Give us the tip.
my stress levels are my creative writing. That's the outcome of that. I'm a stress-related creative person. That's one thing. The second thing, over the period of time, always I lived in stress. As a journalist, I had to live with stress, and as an editor, I had to live with stress, and as a lawyer, I had to live with stress. That has brought some knowledge to me. If you're stressed, what are you going to achieve by getting more stressed about it? So leave it for tomorrow and just have a peaceful sleep. The next day, things will change, or there'll be a solution for that. Or your stress is reduced, so you are able to find solutions. So that's what I learned. I tell everyone, don't worry, just leave it. My daughter also, I tell the same thing. Just leave it for the time being. Just give it a go for 1 or 2 days, and things will change. And by then, they also get empowerment that they can face that situation, challenge, and take it and fight it out.
Yes, dear. That's wonderful. That's really nice. Thank you for sharing that beautiful tip with us. Now, ma'am, how would you want the younger generation to remember you? One fine day, we will not be on this planet. What kind of a message you'd like to leave behind for all of the youngsters?
I planned it last year, and what I've done is I've done some endowment lecture thing in few universities and colleges. So that will be there. I will be remembered. All my books I'm donating to a private library, which has an internet library. And all my work and my life history, everything I'm donating to them. I'm also donating somebody 1 acre of my land. I'm donating to some charity work to do a orphanage and aged care center with some standards like an Australian aged care center. And I requested them to keep all my, I may have about 400, 500 awards and certificates and plaques and stuff. I want everything to be left in that place. So know that somebody has done something in 3 countries, and we should do something and we should give back something to this community. So that's my message for everyone.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's really nice. Very inspiring. I mean, all of us should have that beautiful thought, the way you have a large heart to connect with people in the right way. Now, ma'am, apart from studies, have you found yourself being interested in any movie, or any movie is like very close to your heart, which has a beautiful message with regard to empowering people? Because most of the modern days movies are about fights and violence and all of that. Which is that one movie which has touched your heart?
There are a few movies which I really want to watch again and again. If you ask me the Hindi movie, the Umraja, how she was neglected and they don't want to accept it is their fault, and what she was launching for love, and she was not given that love and affection. That movie, that's in my mind. And recently, I don't think there's any movie that really impressed me a lot. I like some comedy movies which must be healthy comedy, not with filthy words and stuff. I'm a very good movie watcher. I watch a lot of Western movies. There's a channel which only have world movies. My TV is tuned only to that channel, channel 35, the SBS world movie 32 or 35. So I just watch all the world movies, and there are so much inspiring and impressive movies. I always think, why can't these people take good movies? But some of the smaller directors nowadays are getting nice movies done without much, especially the Malayalam movies I love. The Malayalam movies have a storyline which is acceptable in a daily life, what you see. So those, I can't remember on top of my head some of the movies, but I really love those movies. And the last movies I like to watch are the famous directors and famous actors movies. They just give you the crap for you to watch all the violence, all kinds of unnecessary fights, and all, just to show them hero. They let down the people.
Yes. Thank you for sharing, ma'am. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for reminding us of this beautiful movie, Umrajan. Yes, dear. I get that.
It was an old movie. I really liked it. It was Chandrika Subramaniyan I'm talking about.
It has a wonderful message, and it is still very famous till date.
It was, yeah.
Yes. Ma'am, now what about traveling, dear? Like, have you been traveling across the world? Have you visited
42
all the states
countries.
in India? Oh my God, that's too.
42 countries.
How did you manage to travel all these?
If you go to Europe, you go most of the countries. And I also went to Japan, Mauritius, and some of the African countries. 3 countries I went when I went to Africa. The only part I haven't been is the Canada and US part. And the Asian countries, you always travel somewhere. I stop over, spend 2 or 3 days. Stuff. I really love traveling, because traveling makes you to understand different culture and you learn a lot. I go to the airport very early and I sit there and watch people. People's moment teach you something, and people, how they are doing things. Also, you learn a lot of stuff watching people. So I watch people in the airports.
That's nice. You're a wonderful observer as well. You love solo traveling, or it's like group traveling? Where do you find comfort?
Normally, I go with my family once a year or once in 2 years. But other than that, I love to do some solo traveling because my interest are universities. And so when I went to Germany, I went to Berlin all the way to see all the Auschwitz stuff where they decided about killing the Jews, and or the people, the palace where they decided, and all those stuff. And I also collect material so I can write. So I like to do some solo traveling as well.
Yes, dear. Now, dear ma'am, what is it that you love about Dr. Chandrika? What is it that you love about yourself?
I have done something for the community. I have made my life fruitful for myself and for others.
Excellent, dear. Ma'am, apart from all the skills that you've learned with regard to law, with regard to writing, with regard to, being a mediator and an academician and all of that, the life skill called as cooking. Are you a great cook as well, dear?
Yes, I do cook. I love cooking.
South Indian dishes?
Not initially. Initially, until I got married, I never knew how to cook. My husband taught me because of all my cooking habit is from South Indian Brahmin cooking. That I learned from my husband. And my husband cooks well, so he used to treat me like Saturdays. He said, "No, you don't need to cook. I will cook." Even now, I cook because my grandson loves stuff, and there are South Indian and some Sri Lankan food I cook. I love cooking. I really want to feed people. That was the main aim of my cooking.
Yes, dear. Ma'am, the favorite recipe that you're good at preparing?
What can I say? I don't know whether you know the avial from South India. Yeah, that's from South India. So I learned it from my husband, and I love to do that.
That's really nice. That's really nice. Now, ma'am, at a certain point of time, people all take a final break from their career. They think of retirement, just wanting to relax, doing nothing more, taking no more stress, just enjoying nature and just being who they are, understanding that I've done my best. Now it's time for me to relax. So have you thought of retirement?
I'm partly reducing my work, like court work I've stopped this year. And I only have 1 or 2 cases which I will be following up. I do other legal work, which does not stress me. But I will be continuing my writing and my community service and stuff, which makes me very happy.
Yes. Ma'am, is there anything that angers you when you look around yourself? Is there anything that angers you that this is not right and there has to be a change over here? If it is yes, what kind of change you'd love to see in the world?
Women. Still, the parents think that their duty for the girls to get married. They don't even assess what the girl is capable and what you should give them to be on their own. I have seen in my family that just because the boy is good, he's a good job, they just, even the compatibility is not a question for the families, like especially the middle class family. They just want the girl to get married. And after that, you don't even try to find out whether the girl is happy, whether she's capable of, whether she wants to study something. So this is what has to be changed in the future. Children must be given the freedom to have their choice of doing what they want to do. You can propose marriages, nothing wrong in that. But just see whether the boy will be able to educate your child. Sometimes people stop children at 18 and get married. So they just live as cookies the rest of their life. So this thing should be changed. Girls should be given equal importance for them to grow on their own.
Yes, dear. Thank you for that lovely message to all the parents. They have to keep their ears open now and sharp and really give importance to their daughters and sons equally.
Yes.
Now, ma'am, amongst all your achievements till date, which is your most proudest achievement?
Me. The Cumberland I've translated. Because recently, one of the retired justice who released it and who reviewed it, he said it's a wonderful work because it's giving the English meaning and the Tamil meaning and the Tamil song and English song, and it's transliterated into English also. And he quoted few of my songs and said this gives the meaning very approachable meaning, and I was so happy with that I've done a good job. To date, that's my best work.
That's wonderful. That's really nice. Now, ma'am, imagine, this is an imaginary question. Imagine we give you a time machine in hand, and at the click of a button, you're taken into the past era. The task for you is to relive somebody's life and return back. If this was a task for you, whose life you would relive and return back?
I had a very close friend. My friend is the one who really, really was supportive after my father's death. She's the niece of the Kabbalishwara temple. I am today because of her. And her daughter, she had 2 daughters, and my daughter grew up together, all 1 year different. Last year, she passed away. It's a very painful thing for me. And if I can do something, I'll go back and revive her and come back.
What a lovely friend you are. How nice.
We were very close. We supported each other. The children were together. We got married in the same year. She found a match for me. And it's more than a family to me, my friend. We were a lot of difference of opinion. Her lifestyle is totally different. Mine is different. She has different thoughts about feminism and things. I have different, but above all, we were like two, I won't even say it's two sisters, we were very good friends. And this was a shock. She just passed away a year back. And I couldn't do anything from here. Nobody could have done anything because she had some issues with her health. But Chittu is one thing. If I can revive her, name is Chittu, we call her. If I can revive her, I would have done that.
Yes, dear. Thank you for sharing that, ma'am. Thank you. I'm sure she's in heaven watching us from above, and we wish that her soul rests in peace. Definitely she is happy where she is now, dear. Yes, and thank you for remembering her in such a beautiful way. That's wonderful. Ma'am, one last major question, dear, with regard to mental health. Now, in India, mental health still hasn't received that much mileage as it is in the other Western countries. What do you have to say with regard to this, dear?
First of all, understand the family system sometimes cause the mental issues rather than in Australian countries. Australian countries also it happens because broken families and drugs and other things. I understand. But in Indian families, there are a lot of stuff you try to suppress a girl or a boy, even if the boy wants to do something. If he's a gay or something, then you don't accept it. You stress them out, and it's gone beyond your dimensions nowadays. But when you do pressurizing people for something, their mental health is affected. Or when you start criticizing and when you start doing things damaging their character and stuff. So you have to understand what's the root cause of that is because one is some people are born with issues, which you can't do anything. Some people get shocks and they become mentally ill. But there beyond that, if you take 60% of the people will be because of the peer pressures and other pressures they go through. So people have to understand mental health is not a bad thing. You have to treat them. And after treating them, you want to hide that to other people. You try to put them as a normal person and treat them. It happened to one of my family members. If she has been sent to a place where a mind can be diverted towards something she can create or do some work, that person would have been a better person. But you don't want other people to know your daughter had some issue, and you try to suppress and treat them as a normal person and tell them to do things what other normal person do. So, which is a very nasty thing. So, mental person has to be approached with a very empathetic way, and you have to have a very good space for them to move on with their life.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing your time. We look forward to another session with you. You have a lot of insight and a lot of courage that we would like to learn from you. To be courageous.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, dear.
Thank you very much for your thing. Thanks. Thank you.
Before we end, one more request, dear. One small request. Please share with us 3 magical words that could empower us. You've empowered us right from the start till now. But as a rule on the International Fab Talks, as we always have a little request to all our celebrities and guests to add 3 additional words. Apart from please, sorry, and thank you, you could share any 3 words that could empower us and as a gift for us.
Learn, be courageous, courage, second word, love.
Learn, courage, and love. Yes, dear. That speaks volumes about your personality, ma'am. You've been a great learner. You've been a person full of courage and a person filled with lots of love. Thank you so much. Looking forward to the next session with you.
Thank you, Crystal. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks to you too. My dear friends, with this, we'd like to sign off from the International Fab Talks for today. Don't forget to share this wonderful video with the right kind of people. It has a lot of inspiration where you can derive a lot of inspiration by just listening to what ma'am has shared, how she has overcome all the challenges, how you could also be a successful person, how you could be the next Dr. Chandrika. That's what we look forward to, all of you being very strong. Stay connected with us. If you like what the International Fab Talks is doing, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to love yourself. Don't forget to be courageous, and don't forget to learn. That's the beautiful message we'd like to sign off. Stay blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you.